The following is a presentation of the Arena Sports Network, bringing the spotlight back to the student athlete. This is the Arena Sports Network Scoreboard Show, the weekly comprehensive show that brings you all the high school and college scores and standings for Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. And now, to take you through all the scores, here's your host, Brian Snow.
A pleasant good afternoon to one and all in the region, across the nation, around the world. We welcome you to the ASN Scoreboard Show, and this afternoon it is presented by the ASN Sports Travel Agency and Vacation Spot. Looking for that great spring break spot? All you have to do is go to asnsportstravel.com and begin your booking. Well, let's start in the IHSA as two champions have been crowned in Class 1 and 2A. They are Anawan, who won Class 1A with a 59-23 win over second-place Carrollton, and St. Thomas More of Champaign defeated Prophetstown 70-34, so St. Thomas More is the Class 2A state champions. Other qualifiers in Class 1A were Moweaqua Central A&M and Lanark Eastland, and it is Lanark Eastland that picked up third place, defeating Central A&M 55-50. And in Class 2A, Elmhurst, Illinois Central Catholic, and Teutopolis were the other two qualifiers in Class 2A, and third place belongs to Teutopolis, defeating IC Catholic by a final of 32-28. So our congratulations to Anawan and St. Thomas More of Champaign, claiming the first two girls basketball championships in Class 1 and 2A, and the first two champions have been crowned for 2014. Now, what we are going to do is take a break. That's what we're doing. We're going to take a break, and we will get you all caught up through Class 3 and 4A in girls hoops in IHSA action, and the boys tournament will get started on Monday, and we'll give you the matchups in Class 3 and 4A there as well. We'll take a peek at the boys tournament in Class 1 and 2A and see how far they have gotten as well. Back in 60.
You do a lot of thinking on a bike about your life, family, your dreams. One of my dreams came to me on a bike, to open up my own shop. So what happens when you complete a dream? Well, you just start thinking of the next.
Visit DrastichAgency.com or call 219-945-3040 and ask Joel Drastich how you can get all of your insurance under one roof.
Want to get your rankings in the truest form? Want to get the best college news without all the fluff? Then tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. Join Kevin the Swamp Rat Horan as he ranks all the collegiate sports, from football to basketball and baseball to cross country, soccer, and so much more. Don't forget to visit www.kevinhoranrankings.com and sign up for his newsletter buzzing across the country. So if you want the best college news and rankings and see how the pros are outsmarted, tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. The Swamp Rat ranks them right every Wednesday night at 8 on the Arena Sports Network.
Back here on the ASN Scoreboard Show on this Sunday, March 2nd, taking you through all the scores in Illinois and Indiana, and being the official scoreboard show of Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. I'm Brian Snow. Happy that you have joined us for this program this afternoon. And what we're going to do right now is take you through Class 3A in Illinois as the girls' playoffs are steaming along. We begin with the sectional semifinals this past Monday. Burlington Central over Sycamore 42-28. Peoria Notre Dame over Mendota 39-37. Vernon Hills over North Chicago 66-56. That was at Ridgewood. At Belvedere High School, Rockford Lutheran defeats Woodstock 67-57. Rochester over Mount Zion 52-36 at Normal. And Mundelein Carmel defeats Antioch at Norridge. That final 59-46. At Illinois Valley Central in the sectional semifinals, it was Washington over Geneseo 45-34. And at Normal, Quincy Notre Dame over Normal University High, that final 54 to 30. On the 25th, the scores went like this. At Carbondale, they defeated Columbia 58-46. The second semifinal at Carbondale, Bethalto Civic Memorial defeated Effingham 50-30. At Solorio Academy, it was Phillips over Evergreen Park 45-39. And the second sectional semifinal, De La Salle defeated Harlan 61-55. Continuing on, at Glenbard South, it was Montini over Nazareth, 70-44. And the second semi at Glenbard South, Dorothy Gators continues to do it as Marshall defeats Glenbard South, 57-46. At Lincoln Way West, Joliet Catholic over Morgan Park, 78-67. And it was Bishop McNamara over Hillcrest, 79-68. So a pair of high-scoring games. And let's take you to our sectional championships in 3A that occurred this past Friday. Burlington Central defeated Rockford Lutheran at Belvedere, 55-41. At Carbondale, it was Bethalto Civic Memorial over Carbondale, 56-40. At Solorio Academy, De La Salle claims that sectional with a 51-45 win over Phillips. Alicia Stewart scored 17 points, and Akila Fletcher added 15 for the Meteors. Illinois Valley Central sectional final saw Washington defeated Peoria Notre Dame 65-42. At Glenbard South, Dorothy Gators could not keep the magic going as Montini defeated Marshall 54-31. Kateri Stone of Montini tallied 17 points, and Timya Russell led Marshall with 8. At Lincoln Way West, Joliet Catholic defeated Bishop McNamara in a good game, 78-70. At University High in Normal, it was Quincy Notre Dame claiming that sectional over Rochester, 46-31. Angela Perry had 14 points for Rochester in the losing effort, and Marianne Huggenberg 16 points to lead Notre Dame. And finally, at Norridge Ridgewood, it was Carmel of Mundelein defeating Vernon Hills, that final 47-35. So your sectional champions have been crowned, and tomorrow, this is how the super sectionals look in Class 3A. At Millikan University in Decatur, Bethalto Civic Memorial will take on Notre Dame of Quincy. At Romeoville, Lewis University, they'll see Washington and Joliet Catholic. Hinsdale Central will see De La Salle and Montini. That is going to be a good one. And at Hoffman Estates High School, Burlington Central will take on Mundelein Carmel. The De La Salle and the Burlington Central games will start at 6. And Quincy Notre Dame and Joliet Catholic, their games will tip at 7. And that's a take a peek, and that is a quick peek in what happens in Class 3A, up to date, up to the super sectional round. We'll pause for another break, and we'll take you through 4A in the girls bracket. And then we will take you through the boys tournament as they are set to kick things off on this coming Monday. We'll be back in a deuce with the 4A girls sectional recap and a super sectional setup. You're listening to the ASN Scoreboard Show on the Arena Sports Network.
Anne Marie specializes in premier 5-star vendor and craft shows. She also offers event planning for special events of any kind. Anne Marie's goal is to provide both her vendors and shoppers with an exceptional experience, believing that promotion is the key to any successful event. Anne Marie has developed personal relationships with her vendors and is constantly being sought by vendors who would like to participate in her popular events, often with wait lists for vendors. Working with Anne Marie is an enjoyable, stress-free experience. Anne Marie is a perfectionist and very creative. She is 100% committed to each event from beginning to end and believes that promotion is the key to any successful event. No stone will go unturned as it relates to promotion. For the ultimate in event planning, contact Anne Marie today at 219-741-0435 or visit anne-marieprints.com. Premier events in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana are brought to you by Anne Marie.
Gigahertz, providing customers with excellent service since 2008. Computer problem? Leave it to the staff at Gigahertz, priding themselves with an unparalleled work ethic and continuing to offer customers the lowest prices around. Gigahertz services include PC repair, networking, PC setup, custom PC builds, pickup and delivery, in addition to in-home and in-office service. Get small to large business solutions, service contracts, and much more. Computer problems? Gigahertz. and that's where we come in. Gigahertz for your computer repair and solution needs. In-home, in-store, wherever it's convenient for you. Think your PC's infected? Gigahertz offers free virus diagnostics with most virus removals done in 48 hours or less. Plus, they'll optimize your PC. Take that, Best Buy. Give Gigahertz a call. 219-218-9323. That's 219-218-9323. Or log on to gigahertzpc.net. Gigahertz, and that's where we come in.
More scores on the way here on the ASN Scoreboard Show on this Sunday afternoon. I'm Brian Snow. We thank you for joining us, and we continue in the IHSA as we look at Class 4A. Let's start with our sectional semifinals this past Monday. Bradley Bourbonnais over Moline, 46-42. Oswego defeated Matea Valley, 47-42. Edwardsville over East St. Louis, 65-32. New Trier over Maine West, 57-34. Nequa Valley of Naperville defeated Panay Academy of Lisle, 54-37. And Evanston, the Wildcats, take down Traditional Power Loyola, 42-35. They slowed the game down, and they made it count. More sectional semifinals at Addison Trail. It was Geneva over Wheaton Warrenville South, 55-44, while Batavia defeated Downers Grove North, 57-52. At Barrington, it was Rolling Meadows over Arlington Heights, 63-56, and Fremd defeated Buffalo Grove, 47-38. At Bloom Township, it was Oak Lawn over Marist, 61-56. So the Red Hawks season comes to an unfortunate end. They had an outstanding season as well. Remember, last year they lost in the sectional championship on a buzzer beater. So this year they don't get to the sectional championship, but a big shout out to my good friends at Marist High School and the girls team having a great season all the way around. Continuing on in Chicago Heights, it was Marian Catholic over Lincoln Way East, 61-51. Crystal Lake South saw Huntley defeat South Elgin, 49-32, and Boylan Catholic of Rockford defeated Prairie Ridge, 64-57. Hinsdale South saw Whitney Young defeat North Lawndale, 76-62, and Trinity defeated Kenwood, 52-36. So Andre Lewis's Kenwood Broncos meet their end. They finish with a record of 22-8, and hope to get Andre Lewis on the show in the very near future to wrap up his season. Here are the sectional championship results. Addison Trail sees Geneva move on. They defeat Batavia 48-24. At Barrington, Rolling Meadows needed overtime, defeat Fremd of Palatine 57-53. Marian Catholic needed overtime to defeat Oak Lawn 67-62 at Bloom Township. At Crystal Lake South, it's Rockford Boylan Catholic defeating Huntley 54-39. Whitney Young wins another sectional championship. They defeat Trinity 58-45. Something about when those two teams always get together, there are some fireworks on the offensive side. Those two teams play great ball all the way around. Congrats to Corey Irvin, another sectional championship. At Edwardsville, the host team defeated Bradley Bourbonnais 49-44. At Joliet Central, Nequa Valley defeated Oswego 54-52. And at Maine East, it was New Trier over Evanston in the Battle of Evanston, 53-43. So the Trevians pick up a sectional championship. Here are your super sectionals in Class 4A in girls basketball in the IHSA. At Illinois Wesleyan, it's Marian Catholic taking on Edwardsville. At Judson University and Elgin, Geneva will take on Rockford Boylan Catholic. Hinsdale Central will see Whitney Young and Nequa Valley. That's going to be a good one. Let me give you the times. Marian Catholic and Edwardsville will play at 7. These are Central times. Geneva and Rockford Boylan also at 7. Hinsdale Central will see Whitney Young and Nequa Valley. That will be at 8 p.m. Central Time. And Hoffman Estates will see Rolling Meadows and New Trier battle at 8 p.m. And that is up to date in Class 4A in girls basketball. We're going to stay on the Illinois side. The boys playoffs will begin tomorrow, and there's a controversial story that is going on, and I'll talk about this on the morning show tomorrow. Curie just recently won their first city championship. Unfortunately, that title has been stripped, as well as their 24 wins on the season because of ineligible players. I'll talk about this more in depth tomorrow. Let's take a peek in Class 3A as we are waiting there. They are going to, you know what, we're going to take a break because I think I brought up the wrong screen, so it's my fault. We'll take a break, and we'll take you through the boys' tournament, the boys' IHSA tournament. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. This is the ASN Scoreboard Show, presented by ASN Sports Travel on the Arena Sports Network.
In Illinois, more than 300,000 students compete in interscholastic programs taking place in classrooms, auditoriums, gymnasiums, city parks, and stadiums. Students with extracurricular activities tend to have higher grade point averages, better attendance, lower dropout rates, and fewer discipline problems. IHSA sponsors 35 programs that enrich the educational experience and shape the lives of young people in a positive way. Support the schools, teachers, coaches, sponsors, and students who take part in activities sponsored by the Illinois High School Association.
It began as a promise. Son, we're going on a road trip. That promise has lasted over 30 years. Our dream is to visit every national park in America. It's been thousands of miles, countless bumps along the way, but we'll just keep moving on, pursuing this amazing dream.
Visit DrastichAgency.com or call 219-945-3040 and ask Joel Drastich how you can get all of your insurance under one roof.
All right, Snowman is back, and I have the correct set of scores up because I pulled up the screen for baseball, and it's not baseball season as of yet, but it is on the way. We'll talk more about that later on in the show. Let's take a look at Class 1A in boys basketball as their regionals got started earlier this week. We begin in the quarterfinals. We'll take you all the way to date as Outwood Co-op defeated Scioto 48-39. Another region. These are all regional quarterfinal scores. North Clay over Red Hill 34-27. And Anawan defeated Lamoille Co-op 57-34. Yeshiva over Cristo Rey St. Martin 56-41. Ocala Valley over Central A&M 76-68. Oakland over Atwood Hammond 69-45. Continuing on, Brussels over Metro East Lutheran 75-74. John Batts of Metro East Lutheran with 31 points in the losing effort. Chrisman over Hume Silo 62-52. Luther North over St. Benedict 44-42. Waltonville over Wayne City 39-31. These are scores in Class 1A. It was Christopher over Bluford Weber 66-32. Universal of Bridgeview over Faith Lutheran 62-59. Judah Christian over Iroquois West 57-50. Leroy over Calvary Christian Academy of Normal 66-37. Thompsonville over Hardin County of Elizabethtown 71-63. Lanark Eastland, the boys' side, getting a win over Forreston 66-49. Leno Winslow over Stockton 47-43. St. Anne defeated Donovan 79-54. New Berlin over Jacksonville Route 55-43. Steelville over the Cobden Apple Knockers, one of my favorite nicknames of all time. 64-58 the final. Al Jeffers of Steelville with 29 points. Other wins in regional quarterfinals included Garner South Wilmington, Lovejoy, New Berlin, Flanagan Cornell, Lewistown, Mulberry Grove, Sangamon Valley, Southeastern, Beecher City, St. Bede of Peru, South Fork of Kincaid, South Beloit, Dongola, Elmwood, Somoag, Serena, Strasburg, Stewardson, and Griggsville Perry. Those are your regional quarterfinal winners. And we take a look at more regional quarterfinal winners. They include Abington, Avon, Clay City, Galva, Sisney, I hope I said that right, Ashton Franklin Center, Paw Paw, Ida Crown, Christian Liberty Academy, Lovington, Calhoun, Carrollton, Arcola, Cissna Park, Caitlin, Dyad, woo, there's a lot of winners, Villa Park, and that's the Islamic Foundation of Villa Park, Harvest Christian Academy, Alcott, Gallatin County, Hayworth, Carrier Mills, Stoneford, Blue Ridge, Fisher, Tri-Point, Hayworth, Aiken, Polo, River Ridge, St. Francis de Sales picks up a win for the Catholic League. Dwight Warren, Tarico, Ziegler, Royalton, Franklin, New Athens, Mount Pulaski, Delavon, Roanoke Benson, Whitehall, Jibo Catholic of Waterloo, Greenville, Christ Our Rock Lutheran of Centralia, Effingham, St. Anthony, Marquette, Christian Life, Henry Shenawine, Nokomis, Lincolnwood of Raymond, Springfield, Calgary, Neoga, Durand, Illini Bluffs of Glassford, Uland Century, Liberty, Winchester Co-op, Cairo, and Hudsonville Co-op and Williamsfield. Those are all of your regional quarterfinal winners. Now let's do some regional winners in Class 1A. We continue in Class 1A. As the semifinal, we'll go right to the finals. Let's go right to the regional championships. Your regional champions are Kewanee Wethersfield, Oblong, Sabana Indian Creek, Arthur Lovington, Calhoun of Hardin, Caitlin Co-op, Westminster Christian of Elgin, Cessar Valier, Hope Academy over Diet, Crab Orchard, Hayworth, St. Thomas More of Champaign, St. Anne, Hanover River Ridge in overtime, Lanark Eastland with a regional championship, Goreville, Roanoke Benson, Whitehall, Mendon Unity, Mount Pulaski. As we continue on, more regional champions in Class 1A, Patoka, Effingham St. Anthony, Putnam County, Dakota, Mooseheart, Springfield Lutheran, Dietrich, Brimfield, Cairo, and finally Liberty. So congratulations to all of our regional champion winners. And one more to tell you about: Chicagoland Jewish of Deerfield defeated Ida Crown. Now, their sectionals in Class 1A begin Tuesday night. And we'll give you the times and the teams that are playing. Beginning in Bridgeport at Red Hill, St. Anthony takes on Oblong at 7 p.m. Brimfield will take on Kewanee Wethersfield. That is at 7. Mount Pulaski and Hayworth also at 7. River Ridge and Indian Creek at 7. St. Anne and Caitlin Co-op will go at 8. St. Thomas More of Champaign and Arthur Lovington at 6. Goreville and Cessna Valor at 7. Jibo Catholic and Calhoun and Westminster Christian and Chicagoland Jewish all go at 7. So that is your update in Class 1A. Let's move on to Class 2A. And the regional champions in Class 2A are Carterville, Elmhurst, Illinois Central Catholic, Breeze Central, Perspectives Charter, Leo, Carlinville, Carver Military Academy. Congratulations to them. Michelle Clark, Providence St. Mel, Harrisburg, Parker, Hales Franciscan back at it, Tremont, Monmouth Roseville, Bloomington Central, Nashville, Mount Carmel, Sterling Newman Central Catholic, Northridge Prep, Paris, Winnebago, Pittsfield, Teutopolis, Seneca, Macon Meridian, Taylor Ridge, Rock Ridge, St. Joseph Ogden, Porter Co-op, Clifton, Warrensburg, Latham, Reed Custer, and Greenville. And our congratulations to all of the regional champions in Class 2A. Now to the 2A sectional round. They start like this. At Robeson, it's Carver and Leo. They'll play at 7. At Bureau Valley in Manlius, it's Winnebago and Illinois Central Catholic, also at 7. Teutopolis and Breeze Central at 7 at Vandalia. At DuQuoin is Mount Carmel and Carterville, also at 7. In fact, all of the games are at 7 p.m. Clifton Central and Paris will play at 7. Warrensburg, Latham, and Pittsfield, Bloomington Central Catholic, and Tremont all at 7. More sectional semifinals. These will be played on Wednesday, March the 5th. And as I'm looking, all of the games will be at 7. At Robeson, it's Hales and Perspectives Charter. Manlius will see Seneca and Newman Central Catholic. Greenville and Carlinville at 7 p.m. At Vandalia, Westville will see Reed Custer and St. Joseph Ogden. Northridge Prep of Niles and Providence St. Mel will play at Guerin. Nashville and Harrisburg at DuQuoin. Macon Meridian will see Petersburg Porter Co-op will take on the host school, Macon Meridian. And Stanford Olympia will see Taylor Ridge, Rockridge, and Monmouth. And that is your update in Class 2A. The 3 and 4A playoffs begin Monday night. We'll tell you who is playing where in 2 minutes. This is the ASN Scoreboard Show, and you're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
Parents, if you have children in high school, you may know firsthand that today's teens spend more time with the computer, TV, and video games than on any other activity except sleeping. The Illinois High School Association is the antidote to video games. IHSA sponsors 35 activities, from basketball and football to music, drama, and journalism. They enrich kids' high school experience. They engage kids' brains and their bodies and teach the value of teamwork and good sportsmanship. Encourage your kids to get involved. Go to www.ihsa.org.
Hey, I'm Charles Tillman, cornerback for your Chicago Bears. I've tackled a lot in my life, but nothing more difficult than waiting for my daughter to receive a life-saving heart transplant. Thanks to the selfless gift of another human being, my wife and I get to hold our daughter each and every day. You too can help give someone a second chance at life. As a registered organ donor, you can help save the lives of more than 25 people. Be a team player. Register to be an organ and tissue donor at donatelifeillinois.org.
How do you turn a batter into a hitter? With Slugmaster hitting stations. Slugmaster hitting stations are the most effective and durable baseball and softball batting practice devices available. Versatile, compact, and easy to use, they are excellent tools for ball player at any skill level. Attached to any pole or post for an instant hitting station. Use it at the ballpark, at home, or anywhere you want to get some hits in. Work the strike zone, top to bottom, in and out. The most complete workout year-round, indoors or outdoors, teams or individuals. Slugmaster equipment is constructed from high-grade steel. The rugged design means years and years of use. Slugmaster equipment is used by youth, high school, college, and professional ball players. For more information or to place your order, call 708-705-7354 or visit slugmaster.com. Slugmaster baseball and softball hitting aids, turning batters into hitters.
The original March Madness is underway, ladies and gentlemen, in Illinois and Indiana. We're taking you through the Illinois scores. This is courtesy of IHSA.org. Stay in the game. Class 3A will get underway tomorrow night. Your regional quarterfinals are as follows, so please follow along. If you want to check the brackets, go to IHSA.org, click on basketball, and you'll see where your team will be playing. This is Class 3A. Althoff Catholic will see Freeburg and Columbia. All games are at 7 p.m. unless otherwise noted. St. Lawrence and Urban Prep, Rantoul and Urbana, Peyton and Noble Street Charter will go at 8. Boys Academy and Noble Street Charter Ronner will go at 6. Comer and Solario will go at 6. That'll be at Brooks. Crane and Mushin will go at 5. Jones and UIC College Prep will go at 7. Northtown, CICS Northtown and North Grand also at 7. Rockford Christian and Rochelle, Herscher and Prairie Central of Fairbury, Gage Park and Hancock also at 7. Geneseo and Rock Island Almond, Massac County, and Heron. Genoa Kingston and Montini will tangle. Chicago Bulls Prep and Roll Clark. And our congratulations to all the teams in the Noble Street Charter. They're getting spots in the state playoffs. So that just tells you what we talked about before, the talent among these kids, and they get a chance to showcase it on a state level. Rockford Christian and Rochelle, Kelvin Park and Sullivan, LaSalle Perouse and Rock Falls. Marmion Academy and Illinois Math and Science Academy will be at 8. Glenbard South and Aurora Central Catholic is at 6. Mount Zion and Decatur Eisenhower, that'll be at 7. Metamoros, Peoria, Notre Dame and Streeter, Elmwood Park, and Sen of Chicago. Morton and East Peoria, Tinley Park and Sandwich, Joliet Catholic and Chicago Christian will tangle. Washington and Peoria. Muscuda will take on Salem. Rochester versus Charleston. Timothy Christian and Instituto Health Science Charter. Springfield and Jacksonville. Highland and Troy Triad. Woodstock and Woodstock North. Sacred Heart Griffin of Springfield and Quincy Notre Dame. Little Village and Wells and Marion of Woodstock and Harvard. Those are your Monday regional quarterfinals. But wait, there's more. On Tuesday, the 4th, Cahokia will take on the winner of the Monday teams with a bye. Cahokia, Belleville Altoff, Chicago Vocational, Harlan, Champaign Centennial all have byes. Other teams with byes: Fenwick of Oak Park, Marshall of Chicago, Morris, Chicago University, St. Patrick, all have byes. These are teams that have byes. Galesburg, Mundelein Carmel, Sycamore, Carbondale, or Mendota, Maple Park, Canelan, North Chicago, Lincoln, I mentioned North Chicago, Peoria Manual, Limestone, Gordon Tech of Chicago. No, they don't have a bye. I read that by mistake. My mistake. Centralia, Alton Marquette, Marengo, Hampshire, and St. Joseph and Chatham Glenwood, all with first round byes. Now to the games that will take place. Altoff Catholic and Waterloo will play at 8. Evergreen Park will take on Dunbar, also at 8. Phillips and Brooks at 8 p.m. as well. Perspectives Charter will take on Johnson College Prep at 6. That'll be at Julian. St. Patrick has a first-round bye. Julian and South Shore will tangle, and Julian is the host team. Vernon Hills and Wakanda will tangle at St. Patrick. Rich Central will take on Thornridge. Coal City and Pontiac will hook up at Prairie Central. That'll be at 8 o'clock. Bremen and Chicago Ag Sci will be at 8. That will also be played at Thornridge. Other games: Belvedere and Freeport, Grace Lake Central and Lake Villa Lakes. Other games: Mount Vernon and Marion, Kankakee Senior and Bishop McNamara will hook up. Peotone and Manteno, Dixon and Sterling, Northside and Chicago Northside and Norridge Ridgewood will lock horns, and Gordon Tech and Johnsburg. And finally, Jerseyville, Jersey and Bethalto Civic Memorial. Those are your 3A matchups, and they will be played. And 3A regional matchups and more teams that have a bye include Morgan Park and Farragut, both of Chicago, Westinghouse, Hillcrest, Rich East. As we take a look more, St. Francis of Wheaton, Clemente, Springfield, Lanphier, Plano, and Springfield Southeast. Also, Rich South picks up a bye in the regional semifinals. Now, regional semifinals that have already been set. Champaign Centennial will take on Muhammad Seymour. Lindblom will take on Urban Prep Charter of Inglewood. Other games: West Chicago Wheaton Academy will take on Burlington Central. Dunlap will take on Canton. Urban Prep and Nazareth will lock horns. Peoria Richwoods and Illinois Valley Central. Effingham will take on Olney East Richland, Mattoon, and Taylorville. And finally, Normal University and Decatur MacArthur. And those are your 3A regional semifinal matchups. You tired yet? You shouldn't be. We got more scores for you in a couple of minutes. We'll take you through Class 4A, and then we'll go across the border to Indiana and take a look at the boys and girls playoff situation there in the IHSAA, because we are the official scoreboard of Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. And we hope that you are enjoying the second installment of the ASN Scoreboard Show. It's presented by ASN Sports Travel and Vacations. In a deuce, we'll look at Class 4A, then go across the border. This is the ASN Scoreboard Show on the Arena Sports Network.
Some statistics are surprising, some are unbelievable, and some are simply unacceptable. Right now, nearly 30% of U.S. students aren't finishing high school. Nearly 30%. And that's the average. In many places, it's even higher than that. And fixing it is a responsibility that we all share. This is President Obama, and I urge everyone, not just parents, but friends and neighbors and family members, to take responsibility for encouraging the high school students in your communities, to support them, challenge them, push them a little, and do whatever it takes to help them make it through. Because this is one statistic we simply can't afford to ignore.
You can do your part by going to boostup.org and sending an email, a text message, or even a wake-up call to a student at risk of dropping out. Go to boostup.org and provide the boost that's needed to make it to graduation. A message from the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
All right, folks, you ready for some more scores? Let's go to Class 4A as you're inside of the ASN Scoreboard Show here on this Sunday, March 2nd, March Madness in full swing. Here are some 4A regional quarterfinal matchups. Addison Trail and North Lawndale Charter. Hoffman Estates will take on Bensonville Fenton. Arlington Heights Hersey will take on Wheeling. Plainfield North and Romeoville will hook up. Oswego and Yorkville, Mount Prospect and Round Lake. Collinsville at Belleville West. DeKalb and host Belvedere North. At Morton, Berwyn, Cicero, Glenbard West, and Proviso West. So the Panthers get a spot in the playoffs. Manuka and Lincoln Way North will tangle at Eisenhower. Sandburg and Eisenhower, the host school, will play. Bartlett and Glenbard East at Berwyn Cicero, at Morton of Berwyn Cicero. Martin Luther King High School will see Argo and DuSable. Revis and Kelly will tangle at the Dolphin Dome at Whitney Young. At Bloom Township, Plainfield South will take on Washington of Chicago. Algonquin, Jacobs, and Crystal Lake Central. Crystal Lake Central, the host team. Crystal Lake South and Dundee Crown will play at Crystal Lake Central. Crete Monee and Lincoln Way East will play at 8 at Bloom Township. At Maine West, it's Taft and Mather. Elk Grove Village and Schaumburg will play at Elk Grove Village. Wheaton North and Willowbrook will also play at Elk Grove Village. Leighton at Franklin Park will see Lake Park and host Leighton. West Chicago will take on Prosser. Lamont and Oswego East. Fox Lake Grant at McHenry. Libertyville and Mundelein, the Mustangs, getting back in the swing of the playoffs. Barrington and Buffalo Grove. Hinsdale South and Downers Grove North. Beware of the bleacher creatures. Matea Valley and Aurora East will play at Naperville Central. Lincoln Way Central will see Lockport and Joliet West. And then the host Knights of Lincoln Way Central will take on Andrew. Normal Community will see the host team, Normal Community West, I should say, take on Danville. Kenwood and Oak Lawn will play at Oak Lawn. Shepherd will see Richards and Kennedy. These are in Class 4A. Richardson and Kennedy at Shepherd. The host Astros will take on Hubbard. St. Ignatius and Juarez will play at Oak Lawn. Maine East will see Foreman and Lakeview, both from the Chicago Public League. Plainfield Central and TF North will play at Plainfield Central. Plainfield East will see Downers Grove South and the Bulldogs of Batavia. Rockford, Guilford, and McCasney Park of Harlem will play at Boylan Catholic. Expect my good friend Brett Myers to be on the case there. Pekin and East Moline United. Plainfield East and Wheaton Warrenville South will play. Rolling Meadows will see the host Mustangs take on Waukegan. And then Palatine will take on Grays Lake North. Niles West of Skokie will take on Von Steuben. Niles West being the host team. And to wrap things up for the first day in Class 4A, Glenbrook North will take on the Roosevelt Rough Riders. St. Charles East will take on Streamwood. South Elgin will take on Elgin. St. Charles North, and Lane Tech and Amundsen will wrap up the Monday action. Now let's take a peek at the Tuesday action as we see some teams that have a bye. They include York, West Aurora, Thornwood of South Holland, Oak Forest, Curie, Conant, Huntley, O'Fallon, Fremd, Lake Zurich, Whitney Young, King, and Marist will get together at King, and good luck to my Red Hawks. De La Salle and Brother Rice will play at Whitney Young, and that's going to be a fun one. These are two teams that love to get up and down the floor. That'll be at 8 at the Dolphin Dome. Whitney Young gets a bye. They'll play Tuesday at 6 p.m. Other teams with a bye: Bloom Township, Prairie Ridge, Joliet Central, Loyola, Cary Grove, Riverside Brookfield, Proviso East, Glenbard North. And looking at some games that will take place, Lincoln Park will have Maine West. Oak Park River Forest with a bye. Waubonsee Valley and Naperville North will get together at Lamont. Stevenson, the number 1 rated Patriots, get a first-round bye. Highland Park also a first-round bye. Lake Forest, Deerfield, the Deerfield Warriors, Hinsdale Central, Thornton, St. Rita, Bloomington, Bradley Bourbonnais, Mount Carmel of Chicago, the Mount Carmel Caravan, defending 4A state champion Simeon, Stagg, Marion Catholic, Evanston, the Wildcats get a first-round bye. Niles Notre Dame and Maine East will get together at Maine East being the host team. Edwardsville High School will see host Edwardsville take on Granite City. Providence and TF South will play at Plainfield Central. Ottawa gets a first-round bye along with Maine South, Glenbrook South, Larkin, Boylan Catholic, Zion Benton, and New Trier, and the Bolingbrook Raiders. And that is your setup for Tuesday in Class 4A. Other teams getting a first-round bye: Lions of LaGrange, Naperville Central, St. Viator of Arlington Heights, Homewood Flossmoor, Neuqua Valley, Geneva, and St. Charles North. Tuesday regional semifinal games will see Alton Senior and Quincy Senior. Niles North will take on Schurz, Rock Island against Moline, and Rockford Auburn and Rockton Hananiga, and finally Belleville East and East St. Louis. And that is your setup for everything in Class 3 and 4A through Tuesday. Phew! Now we got to take a breath for real. We have to take a breath. When we come back, we'll hop across the border and take a look at the Indiana side. And we'll take you through the boys' playoffs as they are set to begin Friday, and also Marquette Catholic's position in the IHSAA state playoffs. Man, this is going longer than we thought, but thank you for hanging with us. We'll come back in a couple with more playoff matchups as we head to Indiana. We'll tell you more after this.
Hey, you guys, could I ask you a couple questions?
Oh, okay.
Saving money, what's it like for you?
Well, I'm an artist, so it happens sporadically.
But it does happen?
It does happen, and when it happens, it feels really, really good.
With easier savings at TCF Bank, what would you save for?
Oh, clothes and shoes. Housing repairs.
To buy a new car. I'm saving for grad school.
And then I'm hoping to just save up, just to have savings, period.
What would make it easier to save money?
Having like a sugar mama.
Which isn't a bad plan, but if you needed a banking plan or something, what would make it easier?
Something with an
automatic transfer?
Something with an automatic transfer, probably.
So you wouldn't even notice the money?
Automatically transferred.
Automagical.
Automagical, oh my gosh.
How much could you save if saving were actually easy? Open an account at the home of free checking today and find out. For locations and more information, call 1-855-OPEN-TCF or go to tcfbank.com. TCF Bank. Surprisingly simple. Member FDIC.
Have you ever wanted your own phone app but thought it was too expensive? Here is something even better. The best custom mobile page QR system in the world, designed for smartphones, iPhones, and tablets. Have the business card of the future for our mobile world. It includes your own customizable mobile page with unlimited flexibility, your contact info, YouTube channel, videos, events, specials, audio, and more, all on your mobile page. Your own back office so you can make real-time, unlimited updates and changes as often and as much as you want. One code is all you will ever need as you change anything in real time from your back office. This is your business card on all ads, Facebook, t-shirts, flyers, and doorways everywhere. All of this for $99.90 a year plus a $3 payment fee. Visit www.qr2015.net for more information or call 312-802-1208. That's 312-802-1208. The future is in your hands. Call or visit online today.
Down the stretch we come here on the ASN Scoreboard Show this afternoon, and want to send congratulations to a girls team over in Indiana that has punched their ticket to the girls basketball state finals. It is the Bobcats of Oregon Davis. Alicia McIntosh led with 18 points as they defeated Lafayette Central Catholic 67-46, and they head to the state championship game for the first time since 2007. Ashley Campbell said, quote, Alicia hitting that three, that sparked us. That spark was good. When Central Catholic changed its attention to McIntosh, that allowed Campbell, who finished with 15, to get a chance to shine as well. So our congratulations to Oregon Davis, who punched their ticket to the state finals for 2014. Mishawaka Penn also punches their ticket to the state finals in girls basketball in the IHSAA as the Kingsmen defeat Logansport, and that final was 44-41. So our congratulations to Penn as state finals are being set up. Now, as far as the boys go over in Northwest Indiana, we will be paying attention to Marquette Catholic as they will have a first-round bye, and they will face the winner of Covenant Christian and Washington Township. The games will be played at Morgan Township High School in Valparaiso, and we will be there. We will be there, and we'll provide live coverage for you. Marquette Catholic set to play at 5:30. We'll go up at 5 with a special half-hour pregame show. Now switching gears real quick to Horizon League women's basketball. The UIC Flames, women's basketball, their great season continues, although they only got a split in Ohio. They lost yesterday to Cleveland State 78-70 as we go through our final notes here. Youngstown State became UIC's 20th victim for the first time in women's basketball program history. The Flames have won 20, and they defeated Youngstown State 73-65. Cleveland State got UIC on Saturday 78-70. So our congratulations to Coach Regina Miller and the UIC Flames picking up their 20th win of the season, and for all intents and purposes, locking in the number 4 seed in the upcoming Horizon League tournament that is set to begin on March the 10th. And we'll give you all the final bracket. In fact, we'll take a look at the bracket right now. The seedings have not been released yet, but as it stands, the Flames will play on March 12th if the number 4 seed holds, and they'll take on, as it looks right now, Cleveland State, who will be locked into the number 5 seed. Actually, the Flames will need a win to lock in the number 4 seed, as Cleveland State and UIC have split their season series, as UIC also did with Youngstown State. There's also a chance that they could get the number 3 seed if Youngstown State should fall. We'll keep our eyes on that. So far, the top 4 teams, Green Bay, Wright State, Youngstown State, and UIC, finishing out the bracket, Cleveland State, Oakland, Milwaukee, Detroit, and Valparaiso. Thursday night, UIC will host Detroit in their regular season closer. They are definitely heading to the Horizon League tournament, and I believe they have a chance to win the whole doggone thing. We'll keep you posted on everything that's going on there, as we will start Thursday's broadcast at 6 p.m., as it is also senior night. And we'll come to you live from the UIC Pavilion with our broadcast there. And our time is up. We want to thank everyone that joined us here on the ASN Scoreboard Show. Sorry we didn't get a chance to do more Indiana scores. We will do them throughout the course of the week. Remember, tomorrow on Snowman in the Morning, I'll talk about a controversial issue surrounding Curie High School being stripped of their wins. And I hope to have a couple folks join me. And I want to know your thoughts as well. If you like the Scoreboard Show and how it's progressing, let us know at info@thearenasportsnetwork.com. We'll have a Twitter page and a Facebook page for the Scoreboard Show for you all to follow along as well. Our time is up. We hope that you enjoyed it as we enjoyed bringing it to y'all. We'll see you next Sunday with more scores, more highlights, and more conversation. It's the ASN Scoreboard Show presented by ASN Sports Travel. Until next Sunday, we remind you all, have a great weekend, rest of your weekend. God bless, and remember to make your next move your best move. I'll talk to you tomorrow on the morning show. So long, everybody.